Hey guys, just a tip for Halloween. Whatever you do, don't go trick-or-treating in a porta-john. Enjoy the show!
Hey guys, welcome back to Creatures, Caverns, and Crafting. And keeping theme with Halloween, we're going to create ourselves some crypts and tombs. Now I got this idea from Tabletop Witchcraft where he took bases and basically did grave markers. I'm going to try to put a little mix on it, see what we can craft up today. So the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out 2 blocks of XPS foam. Now for this project, XPS foam is going to work great. If you want to work with other materials, you're more than welcome to do that, like cardboard. But this is going to be great, and I'm going to show you why when we get further into our craft. Now what I've done is I've stuck both of these blocks together using some wood glue, and I'm just applying some weight. I'm going to walk away, let this set up for about an hour. Once it's set up, I'm going to go ahead and move on to cutting out an arch piece. Now, one thing to note here, the arch piece did break on me. Don't worry about that. You can fit it together, use a little bit of that wood glue. And here I'm just putting some pins in it. The pins will hold it down. And I'm just kind of getting like a rough estimate. I may or may not use this base, but I just want to kind of keep it small. Now we want to put a roof on this, and the easiest way to do this is to draw 2 45-degree angles like I have here, and I'm going to take a saw and just cut long ways. Now don't worry if your cut is uneven. I'm going to show you how we can clean that up, but you can use a sharp blade. Once you're done, it should look something kind of like this. Now to clean up that uneven surface or those angles, the next step, you're going to take a mask first, and this is just for safety. And I'm going to take some fine grit paper and I'm just going to start smoothing the XPS foam down. Now this is why I use XPS foam. Now I want you to notice the little particles if you can kind of zoom in. We don't want to breathe that. That's why I advise you to wear a mask for this step. So next up, I'll be adding some embellishments to the crypt, and what I'm going to use here are some resin casting. If you watched my catacomb video, you could see where I made these using a silicone mold. The mold that I used for this was a Hearst mold. Let me show this so you can get a better idea of what we're talking about here. Just focus in for you guys. And what I'm going to do is just attach these to the crypt like so, and I'm going to use some wood glue to set that in. Now I want to be upfront with you guys. If you don't have this, don't get discouraged. You can easily use pieces from other models. You could use Lego pieces. You could make your own using green stuff or Sculpey. Heck, you could even use beads. So don't get discouraged. I just had a lot of this laying around, guys, and I really just wanted to get rid of it and put it to good use. So once we've put this on, we're going to move on to our next step. And what I've done here is I added a gate and some hinges, and just for a bonus, we can open this up like so. And I'm going to probably keep this one solid piece. I'll probably just paint that black there in the entryway, and we'll also adhere this roof piece using that wood glue and those pins. So now I'm going to add some texture, and I thought I would try another new technique. What I've done is just take some Sculpey air dry modeling clay and I flattened this out. I'm going to use a texture roller. This is the Cobblestone pen by Green Stuff World. What we're going to do is just apply this onto our crypt. Now you can draw this in with a pencil if you don't want to use the air dry modeling clay. You can do that. I wanted to try something new. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of that wood glue that we've used all throughout this project. We're going to smooth this onto the surface, and we're just going to apply that. We'll cut it to fit the shape of the crypt. It should look something kind of like this. And this is just one side, but when we go to add the other sides, we want to have just a little bit of an overlap because we want to mold each side. We want them to blend. So what will happen is you will have some rough edges like so, and to get rid of that, you can easily just take the eraser of a pencil and just start smoothing it out. Watch, I'll do it here for you guys. Already looking better. And you can also use the sharp point of the pencil to kind of make the ridges go away. You want to get rid of the cracks, make this all seem like one piece. So I'm going to take 2 pieces of XPS foam and I'm going to cut them down about 1/4 of an inch maybe, and these are actually going to be my roof pieces. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a gap up at the top. That's fine. I'm going to cut a wedge to fit there right above. You can see it here in this picture. And next I'm going to go over the entire project with some Mod Podge. So while we're waiting for our Mod Podge to dry, I thought I would show you guys a quick, simple way to make a tomb or an above ground casket. We're going to start off by cutting 2 pieces of XPS foam out like so. I'm going to put these on a base, and as you can see here, I've glued them down and I've textured this by using a little bit of foil. You just ball up some foil and go over the XPS foam. It'll give it a nice texture. And of course, what we're going to do with this is I'm going to add some more embellishments. Here I'm using a shield from a previous used model. I've got a resin cross, and I thought, hey, why not add some more of that air dry clay? Now, you don't have to add the air dry clay. You could use it just like it is with the XPS foam. That texture that we did with the foil earlier would be perfect. So guys, I thought as a bonus I would add a simplified crypt, and all I'm doing is the same steps as before. I'm going to cut out some XPS foam, but this time I'm not going to do the arch or the roof. I'm just going to keep it very flat. Now we're going to go and cut out a doorway for this. You can make your door. I had a door left over from a previous project. We'll insert that in. We're also going to add some texture to this. I'm using some modeling paste, but if you don't have modeling paste, you could maybe just use some glue and sprinkle on some play sand and let that dry. So the last thing I made was another base using some of the gates leftovers that I had. All I did was just trim these down and glue them to the base and add a tombstone. I don't have a lot of footage, but I'll show you what it looks like when I go to paint it. For painting, we're going to stick to the basics, but I did want to show you guys one technique that's going to ensure that you keep the texture and detail of that air dry modeling clay. What we're going to do is just take a small sponge. You can use a makeup applicator. What we're going to do is wipe off the excess paint, and we're going to ever so lightly start to apply that over the texture. What we want to do is avoid globbing a mass amount of paint and just eradicating that detail. So build lightly to a happy medium. In this picture you can see the gated tombstone that I mentioned earlier. You can also see some of the base paints that I use. I'm really keeping things simple here, using grays, browns. I used a burnt umber over a layer of earth texture on the base, and I let that all dry before hitting it with a melon oil or an agrax earth shade. Now you can use both of these, and you can also weather to your heart's content, so feel free to mix it up. Also, don't forget that you can add some more details by dry brushing. In this case, I use light dry brushing of suede, and then to finish everything off with, I just added some scenic touches like leaves, tough static grass, and a flower.
She is no more a lady of royalty. That which exists now is an evil that must be cleansed. Be aware, she may take the form of lesser beasts, that of the wolf or bat. You must also shield yourself from her gaze. It will tempt your faith. We must find her among the dead. That is her place. Arm yourselves. She is not without protectors. Her influence extends to the rotted as well as the living. Make no mistake, what we do here is treacherous, but we are men of solid faith, and we will seek her out. Come now, anoint your blades and purify your souls. The lady of the cemetery awaits us.
Hey guys, I hope that you enjoyed the content. As we head into the final weeks of Halloween, I'll be trying to sculpt something as a part of a collaboration with several other YouTube crafters. We'll see how that goes. I'm a little nervous about it. I've never really sculpted anything. If I have, it's been very small. So we'll see. Should be interesting either way. And again, if I don't practice what I preach, what type of example would I be providing? If you haven't already, maybe think about subscribing. Share this with someone that might like this type of video. And if you're just kind of browsing, maybe hit that thumbs up button. Guys, you take care. Stay safe. We'll catch you on the flip side. Goodbye.